With your contract expiring after this season, would you be interested in re-signing or coming back to the organization?
It's definitely a lot of emotions and thoughts that flow through my mind.
From the moment Kelsey Mitchell made her debut at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, her journey with the Indiana Fever has been marked by memorable, game-changing performances. With each passing season, Mitchell's influence on the franchise and the WNBA at large has grown exponentially, reshaping the landscape of women's basketball. Her early years were full of challenges, yet those very struggles forged the player we see today.
I think that everything for me is so fresh that I don't know what I need and what I'm going to do, but I know that when the time comes and the opportunity is right for me to make those decisions.
A fierce competitor, a constant scorer, and a leader who has become the face of the Fever's revival. In the 2020-2021 seasons, Mitchell etched her name into the franchise's history books. She finished top 10 in the WNBA in scoring in both years, a feat she would replicate in 2022 and 2023. As the years went on, Mitchell not only carried the team's offense, but also represented hope for the Fever faithful, a beacon of possibility amid years of rebuilding. Her unwavering commitment to the franchise, even in its most difficult seasons, became a testament to her character and love for the game.
From the moment Kelsey Mitchell stepped on the floor at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, her time with the Indiana Fever has been memorable, impactful, and historic. Mitchell, she'll pull up. Here's a three. She's got it! And that's a record!
However, with every high came a new challenge. As the 2024 season approached, Mitchell found herself at a crossroads. Her contract was nearing its end, and the questions were plentiful.
As Mitchell's career in Indiana continued, the eye-popping performances and awards began to pour in.
Fakes it. Oh! Ankle breaker!
Ooh.
Would she remain in Indiana or seek new opportunities with another team? The world of women's basketball watched closely, as her decision was set to reverberate across the league. The stakes were high, not only for Mitchell but also for the Fever, who were beginning to see the fruits of their labor with the addition of superstars like Caitlin Clark. As the rumors swirled, the landscape of the WNBA shifted. Teams like the Las Vegas Aces, Chicago Sky, and Golden State Valkyries expressed interest, offering Mitchell lucrative contracts and the chance to play on established championship contenders. Yet the allure of a fresh start didn't outweigh the foundation she had built with the Fever. Mitchell had been a cornerstone for the team for 7 years. She had seen them through the dark times, and she was now watching them rise again with the addition of Clark. Could Mitchell's decision lead the Fever back to prominence? The tension surrounding Mitchell's future escalated as free agency approached. Would she stay loyal to the Fever, or would she chase the bright lights of a new city and a fresh challenge? As Mitchell herself stated, the decision required her to be selfish, a phrase that had Fever fans on edge. Her loyalty to Indiana was clear.
Me, I enjoy this process and know that, I'm a pillar of change. I could be one of the ones to say that foundation was laid,
as she would cement her standing among the top players in the entire league.
But the reality of the business side of the game brought complications. With teams offering her significant contracts and potential playoff runs, the pressure was mounting. Then, in a move that shocked the basketball world, the Fever made their intentions clear. They slapped the core player tag on Mitchell, securing exclusive negotiating rights.
Excited about our future, but I would never change my past. I know what I have to do to get to this point, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Tosses ahead, Wheeler extra feet. Oh!
This was a bold move, one that showed how much the Fever valued Mitchell's contributions. It wasn't just about her ability to score, it was about her leadership, her growth, and her unwavering commitment to the franchise. The Fever weren't going to let their star walk without a fight. Despite the external noise, Mitchell's decision became clear when she signed a Supermax contract with the Fever, committing to the team for the foreseeable future. In doing so, she cemented her place as the cornerstone of the Fever's future, a player who would lead them into a new era of success. Fans erupted in joy, and teammates celebrated the moment as one of triumph. As Mitchell herself put it, "I'm a Fever girl again," a statement that would go down in franchise history.
That was pretty, plus the foul.
I'm very grateful to be one of the ones that, put the bricks down.
Mitchell finished top 10 in the league in scoring.
But what did this decision really mean for the Fever? It was more than just a contract. Mitchell's choice signified a commitment to something greater than herself: the team, the community, and the legacy she was building. By staying, Mitchell embraced the challenge of leading a young, talented squad that included the likes of Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston.
Scoring in 2020, 2021, again in 2022, for a fourth straight time in 2023, and you guessed it, top 10 in scoring in the 2024 season, too.
Together, they represented the next generation of WNBA stars. The dynamic between Mitchell and Clark in particular became a key storyline. The two guards, known for their electrifying scoring ability, formed an unstoppable duo that left opponents scrambling to defend against them. While Mitchell's scoring was always a threat, her game reached new heights alongside Clark. With Clark's ability to facilitate and Mitchell's sharpshooting, the two created a basketball partnership that could redefine the way teams are built in the WNBA.
Obviously, I've always had a home in Indy, so it could potentially be a home for me again. But I think right now, the switching dynamic of my family and everything, I got to do what's best for me.
In the midst of it all, Mitchell made her intentions clear. "I have to be selfish," she said. It was a statement that struck a chord not only with Fever fans, but with the basketball community at large. The idea of Mitchell leaving Indiana, where she had spent 7 years growing both personally and professionally, felt unfathomable to some. The whispers about her potential departure grew louder, reaching a crescendo when Cheryl Swoops, a Hall of Famer, added fuel to the fire by suggesting Mitchell felt underappreciated by the Fever's front office. The heat was on, and Mitchell's future seemed uncertain. But the Indiana Fever weren't about to let their star slip away without a fight. Recognizing her importance not just as a player, but as a cornerstone of their future, the Fever slapped the core player tag on Mitchell.
That's no hanging my hat on one team or another, but I think it's specifically for me, I gotta be selfish about that process. And when I know, you'll know. So, we'll see.
Let's break it down.
Ensuring that they had exclusive negotiation rights. This move gave the Fever the ability to offer Mitchell a Supermax contract, making it clear that they were committed to keeping her in the fold for the long haul. Mitchell's resume was already one of the most impressive in the league. By 2024, she had already secured a spot in the top 10 in WNBA history for points scored and three-pointers made, all before turning 30. But Mitchell was not just about the numbers. The intangibles, the leadership, the work ethic, the ability to mentor young players like Caitlin Clark were what set her apart. In fact, Mitchell's decision to stay with Indiana wasn't just about chasing the biggest contract. It was about securing her place in a legacy that she was building, one that would define the future of the Fever for years to come. As Mitchell finalized her decision to sign the Supermax deal and stay in Indiana, fans erupted in joy. The Fever were no longer just a team in rebuilding mode, they were a championship contender in the making.
Mitchell for Plum. But those whispers fizzled out pretty quick when Plum packed her bags for the LA Sparks.
Kelsey Mitchell. I knew that was next. I think she'll end up in Golden State.
The addition of Caitlin Clark to the squad only heightened the excitement. The duo quickly earned the nickname Splash Sisters after their devastating shooting performances from beyond the arc. The combination of Mitchell's sharp shooting and Clark's ability to create space made them an unstoppable force on offense.
Fired.
Personally, here's where I think they didn't do a very good job, and that was with Kelsey Mitchell, who's an unrestricted free agent, because Kelsey Mitchell had a hell of a season this season, and I don't think she got the credit that she deserved.
The impact of Mitchell's return went beyond the court. She had become more than just a player, she had become the face of the franchise. To Mitchell, Indiana wasn't just a place where she played basketball, it was home. It was a city where she had grown both as a person and as a professional. Her decision wasn't just about basketball. It was about the deep-rooted connections she had formed over the years. The fans, the staff, and the community had embraced her from day one, and now, in her 8th season, she was ready to give back. But the question remained: how would Mitchell's return affect the Fever's championship aspirations? The addition of Aliyah Boston, a dominant force in the paint, added another layer of excitement to the roster. Mitchell, Clark, and Boston formed a dynamic trio with the potential to change the WNBA's power structure. The synergy between Mitchell and Clark was palpable. The two guards, who had seamlessly blended their individual styles, now had the chance to push the Fever into the upper echelons of the league. Despite the challenges of coexisting on a team with multiple star players,
Those big performances have become a staple of hers. Mitchell owns the top 3 highest scoring performances in Fever history. Mitchell ranks 2nd all-time in franchise history in career.
Mitchell and Clark proved that chemistry transcended the typical narrative. Where many teams with multiple superstars struggled to find balance, Indiana's dynamic duo seemed to thrive. Mitchell stepped up in moments when Clark needed a secondary scorer, and Clark facilitated when Mitchell was the one in rhythm. Together, they formed a basketball partnership that was not just effective but revolutionary. In fact, Mitchell's performances during the 2024 season were exceptional. After the Olympic break, she averaged over 24 points per game, showcasing her scoring prowess in ways that had fans buzzing. Mitchell had found another gear, and it was evident in her stats.
Points, field goals made, three-pointers made, and free throws. She's played in the third most games in franchise history and is fourth all-time in career assists.
A career-high field goal percentage of 468%, along with 402% from three-point range. But it wasn't just about the numbers, it was about the impact she had on the court. Her growth as a player, her leadership, and her ability to make those around her better were the hallmarks of her continued evolution. Coach Stephanie White also lauded Mitchell's growth, not just as a scorer, but as a mentor to younger players like Clark. Mitchell's leadership was invaluable in guiding the Fever's young core.
Walls of Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Mitchell is already top 10 in WNBA history in points scored and three-pointers made, all before the age of 30.
Pushing them to new heights and instilling a work ethic that would be crucial in their quest for a championship. But there was more to Mitchell's story than meets the eye. Behind her basketball achievements, Mitchell was a woman who had overcome personal adversity. Her relationship with her late father weighed heavily on her, and as she shared in an emotional moment, it became clear that her decision to stay with the Fever was about more than basketball. Mitchell's story was one of resilience and healing.